Everyone, hope you all are safe. So now we are meeting for the lesson 4 of your science, that is metals and non-metals. Let us just have a chapter overview. What are we going to study in this chapter? The topics which we are going to cover are the metals and the non-metals. What are they? Definitions. Then occurrence of metals and non-metals. Where are they found? Then we are going to study about the properties. That is, we are going to cover the chemical properties and we are going to cover the physical properties of both metals and non-metals. Then we are going to study about the your displacement reaction or the reactivity series. Then we are going to study about the use of some metals, important metals which are being used. Then we are studying about the noble metals. Then we will study about the corrosion of metals, rusting of iron, prevention of corrosion and alloys. These are the topics which we are going to cover in this entire lesson 4. Now this lesson 4 will be covered in 2 parts. Part 1, which we are doing just now, we will be covering the occurrence of metals, their definitions, the physical properties and the chemical properties of metals as well as non-metals. Okay, the uses of metals and the rusting, corrosion and alloys and the reactivity series, these topics will be covered in the next part. So let us start. First of all, when we come to the metals and non-metals, we should know that what are the definitions of metals and non-metals. Now metals are what? Those material which gain which are the elements which form the positive ions by losing the electrons. Okay, that means the metals are those elements which are leaving or which are losing the electrons. That means they'll get a positive charge. We know that elements, they have protons, neutrons and electrons. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. So when an electron will leave an element, the negative charge will be decreased. So the element will get a positive charge. So such elements which get a positive charge, they are known as the metals. On the contrary, what are non-metals? The elements which gain a negative charge by gaining the electrons, they are known as the non-metals. That means metals are losing the electrons and non-metals are gaining the electrons. We also have one more third category, that is the metalloids. They are the mediocres between metals and non-metals. We generally don't study them because they are not of very much importance. Like we have the carbon. Carbon having the valency 4. So carbon is not considered actually a metal because it can share its electrons, so it is taken under the category of non-metals. Okay, so we have 3 general categories: metals, non-metals and metalloids, but we study only about the metals and the non-metals. Next we have is the occurrence of your metals. Now what is the occurrence of metals? That they are generally found in abundance in the earth's crust. Okay, they can be either in the free form like gold and platinum, that is, they are not in any of the combined state. Freely we can get gold, platinum, silver from the earth's crust, or they can be in the combined form in the form of carbonates or silicates. That is, still they are formed in the earth's crust, but they are formed in combined way in some or the other impurity. So they need to be purified. This is the occurrence of your metals. Like we have the metals like aluminium, we have bauxite. They are not found in the free state, they are combined in their form of ores. And from the ores they need to be extracted. Then when we come to the occurrence of the non-metals, non-metals are what? Non-metals can be either in the free state or in the combined form, both. When we come to the occurrence in the free state, what do we see? That the free state like hydrogen, the free state is in the gaseous form, If in the combined form, it is in the form of petroleum or crude oil. Both contain hydrogen because they are hydrocarbons. Then we have the nitrogen. Nitrogen in the free form is occurring in the atmosphere as a gas, and in combined form it is in the nitrates in the soil. So both they can occur in the free state also or in the combined form also. If we talk about the carbon, it is in the free state like a gas, carbon dioxide, and also it is in the combined form where in the Earth's crust is found as a diamond. Then we come to silicon. Now silicon is the most abundant metal which is found in the Earth's crust. Being a non-metal, it is most abundantly found in the Earth's crust. It is not in the free form, it is only in the combined form in the form of silicates. Okay, so in the occurrence of non-metals, what do we see? That they can either be found in the free form or they can either be found in the combined state. Next, what do we study is about the properties of metals and non-metals. In these properties, we are going to study the physical properties and we are going to study the chemical properties. When we study about the physical properties, we are going to have a comparative study of both metals and non-metals. So, see, first property that we have is the physical state. When we talk about the physical state, metals are generally solids at room temperature. Exception is mercury. Non-metals are generally liquids or in the gaseous form in the room temperature. Exception is graphite, which is a solid. This is the physical state. Next we have luster. Luster means shine. Generally metals are lustrous, like we see gold, silver, platinum, they all have a shine in them. When we talk about the non-metals, they are generally non-lustrous. That is, they don't have any shine. You can see carbon, it is having no shine. Sulfur, it is a powder form, no shine. So when we talk about the luster, metals are lustrous and non-metals are non-lustrous. Third, we have hardness and strength. Metals are generally hard and very strong as compared to the non-metals, which are generally soft. Example again, or the exception again is what? That's the metal which is the mercury. It is soft, and a non-metal, a diamond, it is the hardest known element, right? So any exception is there, but on a general note, metals are hard and strong, non-metals are very soft. Next one is malleability and ductility. Before we see the difference, we should know what is malleability and what is ductility. Malleability is what? The property of any metal to be beaten into sheets. Okay, like we see the aluminium foil. Aluminium foil is a sheet. So the property of any metal to be drawn into sheets is known as malleability. And ductility, the property of any metal to be drawn into thin wires, like we have seen the aluminium wires, copper wires, steel wires, all these wires we have seen, silver wires, these are what? In the wired form. So this property of the metal to be drawn into wires is known as ductility. Okay, so when we talk about malleability and ductility, metals are malleable and ductile, non-metals are not malleable and ductile. Non-metals are brittle. Okay, brittle means that when they are beaten, they turn into the powder form. They do not form sheets or they do not form wires. They turn into the form of a powder. This is known as brittleness. Okay. Next property that we have is conductivity. Now conductivity is the conduction of heat and conduction of electricity. When we study about the conductivity, the metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Okay. Next we have is the melting and boiling points. Metals generally have high melting and boiling points. The exception is sodium and potassium. Okay, that means they burn at the room temperature only. So if they are taken out in the open air, they start burning. So exception is sodium and potassium, but generally metals have high melting and boiling points. Non-metals, they generally have low melting and boiling points. Next property is sonorous. Sonorous means when they are beaten, they produce a sound. Okay, so metals are generally sonorous and non-metals are non-sonorous. They do not produce any sound. Last is the specific gravity. Specific gravity is that metals generally have high specific gravities and non-metals generally have low specific gravities. Okay, so these are the physical properties. What all properties have we studied? The first property was the physical state. Next was luster. Then was the hardness and strength, malleability and ductility, brittleness, conductivity, then melting and boiling points, sonorous and specific gravity. So these are the physical properties that everybody should know. Next we have the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Now when we study about the chemical properties of non-metals or metals, what all heading we have to study is, first is reaction with oxygen, next is reaction with water, third is reaction with acids, and fourth is reaction with bases. Okay, these four important reactions we have to study. So first we have the reaction with oxygen. See, whenever there is a reaction with oxygen, first of all, both metals and non-metals react with oxygen. Okay, whenever there is a reaction with oxygen, both will form oxides of the element given. Like see in the example we are seeing sodium plus oxygen. Na plus O2 is forming sodium oxide. Okay, this reaction is very vigorous. So sodium is always kept in the kerosene oil, because as soon as sodium comes out in the atmosphere, it comes out in the open air, it reacts with oxygen and it catches fire. Okay, it is an inflammable substance. Next, if we see the reaction of sulfur with oxygen, that is a non-metal. So sulfur reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide, but the reaction does not complete here. This sulfur dioxide will immediately react with water and it will form the sulfuric acid. Okay, so the reaction of oxygen with metal and non-metal form their respective oxides. Whichever element is reacting, it will form its respective oxide. Next we have reaction with water. In reaction with water, we study a basic reaction or very important reaction of aluminium. Aluminium is a metal, right? So aluminium, when we react with water, what will happen? It will form a layer of aluminium oxide. Okay, wherever aluminium is present, aluminium oxide will be formed, and this aluminium oxide will form a coating and further reaction will be stopped. Okay, basic reaction is what? Whenever they react with water, they will either form oxide or they will form hydroxide, the metals. Okay, like if we say sodium reacting with water will form sodium hydroxide, aluminium reacting with water is forming aluminium oxide. Okay, and hydrogen gas is evolved. This part is important, that hydrogen gas will be given out. Non-metals do not react with water. There is no reaction of non-metals with water. Third thing is the reaction with acids. Whenever a metal reacts with an acid, it is giving you a salt. Like see, sodium is reacting with hydrochloric acid, it is forming NaCl and hydrogen gas is liberated. Iron is reacting with hydrochloric acid, iron chloride is formed and hydrogen gas is liberated. Again, non-metals do not react with acids also. C is the reaction of metals and non-metals with the bases. Now in this what happens, that whenever a metal reacts with a base, just see, like we have taken a metal as aluminium, base we have taken sodium hydroxide. Now whenever this metal and a base will react, a salt is formed. See, a salt is formed, sodium aluminate, okay, and a hydrogen gas is released. Okay, and when we talk about the reaction of non-metal, it is a very complex reaction, so we need not to go into detail about this. Only what we should know, that both metals and non-metals, they show reaction with the bases. So non-metals only show reaction with oxygen and they only show reaction with the bases, no reaction with water and acid. And metals, wherever they are reacting either with oxygen So oxide will be formed. When they are reacting with water, hydrogen gas will be liberated. When they are reacting with acid, salt and hydrogen gas. And when they are reacting with bases, again salt and hydrogen gas. Okay, so these are the 4 reactions which we have to study. So what all things we have studied about this in this part? The metals and non-metals, their definitions, their occurrence, where are they formed, then their physical properties and their chemical properties. In the next part, we will be studying about the reactivity series. We will be studying about the uses of metals and non-metals. Then we will be studying about the corrosion and rusting of iron and prevention of corrosion and the alloys. These are the topics which we will be covering in the next part of this chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.